Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Total Extreme Wrestling series on the channel, and we're in week 4 of July, which means one thing: we are on the go home shows to Extreme Rules. Not the horror show of Extreme Rules, just Extreme Rules. Let's not be daft about this. It's just Extreme Rules. So let's see what's on offer this week. Of course, the Raw main event is Aleister Black versus Randy Orton, both men vying for championships at the pay-per-view. Will they get momentum heading into Sunday? And of course, we've got some title matches along the way to build up to on all of the brands. So, this is going to be an interesting week. We open up Monday Night Raw with the first of 2 Queen of the Ring semi-finals. It's Asuka versus Charlotte Flair, your winner. And into the final is Asuka. She beat Charlotte Flair in about 18 minutes. A 74 rated matchup. Brilliant start to the show. It's quality wrestling to start a wrestling show. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that? I mean, it's not underground. It's definitely wrestling in the ring. And Asuka is into the final. Into the final she goes. Now, this was the big semi-final, wasn't it? Asuka and Charlotte. One of these 2 women going into the final. Either one of them could have worked. So to have Asuka win puts her over big time. 75 in-ring performance from Asuka is amazing. Charlotte Flair 68, not bad either. And yeah, Asuka is in to the final on Sunday. Asuka gets her place at the Extreme Rules match. Interesting, very interesting going to be. 74 though, I am very happy with it. Interesting to see where Charlotte Flair goes from here. SummerSlam on the horizon. Have I got a plan for her? Kind of. We'll see what happens. 74. Pretty good start to the show. Afterwards, watching on, of course, was the Raw Women's Champion, Becky Lynch. She cuts a promo on Asuka for 74 again. Really good start to the show. Talking about how Asuka has absolutely deserved her way into the final. A brilliant victory over Charlotte Flair. It's not easy to do. Becky should know better than anyone. It's not easy to beat Charlotte Flair. It's not easy to beat Shayna or Liv though, so it's going to be interesting to see who she gets in the final, and it'll be interesting to see if Asuka can get past her. But Becky is very respectful of Asuka here. 74, really good. Second match of the night, and it's the 69th, which isn't bad at all. Andrade defeating Apollo Crews in about 10 minutes, and the United States champion goes over. Really good stuff actually for a TV matchup. I'm pretty pleased with that. Nearly 3.5 stars, so you would take that for a 10-minute match on Raw. Andrade looking strong as well. A 71 performance from him shows that he's got the quality, and the more we build him, he will perform. He goes into the match, of course, this Sunday against Aleister Black. It's Andrade and Aleister Black for the United States Championship, and after this matchup, Aleister Black sent a little bit of a message. Now, Aleister has this sort of dark character. It's not The Undertaker. We're not going to go into graves and all this sort of nonsense. But what we can do is play about with a little bit of history. Andrade's celebrating, and the lights go out. And they come back on to find Andrade drenched in blood. Yeah, we're going to bloodbath Andrade. Why not? 74 segment as well, so it definitely worked. And obviously it was Aleister Black who did this. Really good stuff. Really good show so far. And Andrade, the United States champion, may have won in the ring, and that shows what he can do. But it's Aleister Black here, at least for now, with the upper hand. So, yeah, Aleister is, of course, in the main event, so we'll see what happens later. Rey Mysterio cut a promo on Seth Rollins for 64, talking about the fact that Rey, throughout his career, has been an underdog. And you know what? What he has never, ever done, as he's found his way to the top, to the bottom, and now rising back up again. He's never quit, and he won't quit on Sunday. So if Seth Rollins thinks this is going to be easy, it won't. 64 ahead of a war on Sunday. Rey was in action though against Jinder Mahal for 61. This is pretty good actually. Rey Mysterio holding it together and getting a victory over former world champion Jinder Mahal. That's all he's known as to me. Simple as that. Rey 61 though is the man who held it together, and Jinder 54, not bad at all. Rey looking good going into the pay-per-view. We then go backstage for another backstage promo. Kevin Owens cutting a promo on AJ Styles for 67. This is a little lower than I would expect between these two. They've had a feud now for a while. Of course, the first match Kevin Owens won due to a refereeing fast count on AJ Styles. The Money in the Bank briefcase was put up as vacant, and these two will do battle in a ladder match this Sunday. Kevin Owens and AJ Styles, I'm hoping, will steal the show. This could have been better from KO. Ahead of AJ taking on Humberto Carrillo in hopefully a great Raw match. Two good workers. AJ and Humberto gets us 67. I expected better. Again, AJ was off his game for the second week in a row. You kind of hope for better from AJ Styles. Still 70 performance. Humberto 51 and a 67. Again, it's still not bad for a 12-minute Raw match. I was hoping for a little better. If AJ can hit a 72, 73, it is what it is. After the match, AJ gets on the mic, brings out a ladder, and then sits on the top of the ladder, traditional WWE style, gets on the mic and bragging about his victory over Humberto and bragging ahead of time of him winning back his Money in the Bank briefcase this Sunday. But of course, as you would expect, Kevin Owens comes running out, tips AJ off the ladder, attacks him with the ladder and hits the stunner to keep AJ down for this segment. That gets us a 61. I kind of expect better. The lack of anything interesting happening. Can someone explain to me what's happening here? Because it doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't make sense. But it is what it is. And KO and AJ will hopefully have a great match on Sunday. Up next, the second semi-final of the Queen of the Ring tournament is Shayna versus Liv, who will go on to take on Asuka at the pay-per-view. The winner is Shayna Baszler. I'm sure a lot of you expected that. And 64 rated match, really, really good actually. Especially with Liv in ring forms of 48, much better than a pop. That's 8 popularity points better than a pop, so that's really good. And of course it is Shayna Baszler who goes on to win this match. No surprise there. Now Liv can play the underdog really well, and I'm sure that can play into the match. But Shayna needs to go over here because Asuka, as a top babyface in the women's division, needs a top heel to go against at the pay-per-view. Shayna is that woman. So, yeah, no problems with this. 64, again, a good Raw match. Not a problem. This has been a really good show so far. I keep looking left because that's where my script is, by the way, so I know what's coming next. Coming next is a promo from the Disciples and AOP. But on the note of this is really good, and we can officially book it. Shayna will take on Asuka at the pay-per-view. Queen of the Ring final. Shayna Baszler versus Asuka, and the winner will take on Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's Championship at SummerSlam. Big matchup. Okay, then that promo from the Disciples, the whole lot of them, including AOP, on the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders, gets us a 52. Nothing special, but Murphy doing most of the talking here, talking about how for the longest time people are sticking their noses in the Disciples' business. But he's learned from Seth, and he knows that this brand, this show, this company needs to change. And we are going to change it. We've got these tag team belts. The tag team division's already changing. But now that we are replenished, now that the backup is here, AOP, we are ready to save the brand. AOP probably don't like being called a backup, it's all I say. 52. And then that leads into a match later on for that big 8-man tag. Up next, though, the WWE Champion is in action. Drew McIntyre. He will be in action against Austin Theory. Drew, will he get momentum ahead of Sunday? Yes, he will, but not a great match. And a shoulder sprain for Drew McIntyre. No. The WWE Champion has a shoulder sprain. No. Let's see what happens. But if he's out of the pay-per-view, that's not good. Drew obviously gets the win, and the 63 is probably due to the fact of the injury. 77 from Drew still. Please, God, no. Drew then cut a promo on Orton for 68. I'm not going to go into the specifics because I am terrified of what's about to happen. When I look at medical after this, oh, God, if he's out of the pay-per-view, what do I do? After that promo, though, it is announced. Next week, here's a shocker, we will see Edge return to Raw for the first time since WrestleMania after he defeated Randy Orton in that last man standing match. Edge is back on Raw, hosting a Cutting Edge segment with a mystery guest. Who will it be? We'll find out next week, but Edge will be back. Time for that 8-man tag, and it's a 63 rated matchup, which is very good when you look at the popularities. The Disciples defeat the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders, and it's Murphy who gets the pin on Angelo Dawkins. But let me talk you through the finish here. Of course, with an 8-man tag, it all gets chaotic, but it looks like AOP are fully in control. Razor and Akam hit their double finishing move, and look like they're about to pin Angelo Dawkins when Murphy tags himself in and gets the pin. AOP are a bit like, right, okay, well, we've won the match. That's the main thing. But Murphy's taken the result away from AOP here, just hinting that maybe things are not all as they seem with the Disciples. The in-ring performances, though, are really good here. 59 from Murphy is fabulous. 57 from Eric. 58 from Montez. Very good. I'm very pleased with a lot of that. So, yeah, really, really good stuff. We go from an 8-man tag to a 6-woman tag. It's Becky Lynch, the Raw Women's Champion, teaming up with Bianca Belair and Natalya against the Iconics and Lana, which gets us a 69. Really good. Really good. Becky, of course, holding it together with a 70. Bianca 52, not bad. Lana 55, 54 apiece for the Iconics, and Natalya 60. But a good win here for Becky Lynch in 6-woman action. It's going to help Bianca being in that ring with her, is the idea behind this. And of course, the heels as well, it doesn't help them either. Becky Lynch getting the win. Afterwards, Asuka comes out on the stage to confront Becky Lynch and sort of shouting sort of Japanese threats down towards her. She's still a babyface, but of course, these two are rivals from the past. Let's not forget that. So Asuka and Becky are sort of confronting each other. Asuka on the stage, Becky in the ring. When Shayna Baszler comes out to attack Asuka from behind, get some momentum ahead of Sunday, a 76 rate segment. Wow, these women are killing it right now. And Shayna stands tall, staring a hole through Becky Lynch. Will Asuka get a revenge on Sunday? We will find out. Randy Orton got a promo on Drew McIntyre for 67, talking about winning the championship on Sunday ahead of the main event, where it is Orton and Aleister Black. The main event gets us a 72. Really good. Randy Orton sustained an injury. What? You're joking me. You are absolutely having a giggle. The WWE Championship match at Extreme Rules has been torn apart right here. This is the risk when you put big matches on before a pay-per-view, and I get that. Maybe I could have played it a little easier. Oh, for God's sake. Anyway, 72 for a match between these two is fabulous. Orton gets the pin after interference from Andrade allows him to hit an RKO on Aleister Black. Black, I don't think he's unbeaten at this point still, but he's been on a roll, and Andrade puts an end to that here with the interference. 66 from Aleister's good. Orton 77. Really, really good. Afterwards, after Andrade leaves, Drew McIntyre comes down to the ring and a brawl to end the show. A pull-apart brawl. Thanks, Tyson. A pull-apart brawl for 82. Fabulous stuff between Drew and Randy Orton to end the show in chaos ahead of Extreme Rules. Gives us a 74 rated Raw, which is pretty good. I still need to sort out these TV shows, but it is what it is. And that pull-apart brawl was a good way to end it. Good main event. Let's have a look at these medicals. For God's sake, please don't ruin one of my potential main events. Right. I think it's okay. 5 days. They should both be good to go. My God, that is lucky. Wow. So Orton and McIntyre will both be fit for the pay-per-view. I can't take that game. Don't do that to me. We move on to main event and a final sort of push with promos perhaps ahead of Sunday. We open up though with Liv Morgan taking on Nia Jax. And Liv gets the victory in a 45 rated matchup. Pretty good for main event. I can't really complain too much. Another big win for Liv as we try and rise her up the Raw ranks and give her as much popularity as possible. So we've got another potential babyface. At the moment you've only got Becky, you've got Asuka. You need someone underneath. You've got Kyrie there, or Bianca as well. But I think Liv, there's something to it. So 41, Liv, and Nia Jax 47. Pretty good for 45. No complaints. Afterwards, a promo from Shayna on Asuka for 66 to finally boost that Raw Women's Championship feud for Sunday. Final boost anyway, ahead of their matchup in the Queen of the Ring final. Pretty good. 66. She did well under no script. No complaints there. We move on to Aleister Black. He was in action on main event. Another boost for him. I'm trying to boost his popularity as much as possible. He took on Brendan Vink, and a 59 rated matchup is okay. He really carried Brendan as much as he could. 67. It could have, it's a bit harsh, but 59 is okay, and a good win for Aleister Black. Afterwards, a promo from him on Andrade. Didn't do well with no scripting, so we need to script Aleister Black. Worth remembering. Before we move from that promo to an AJ Styles promo for 70. That is better. This needed a final boost after not doing so well on Raw. So AJ improvised well, and he will get revenge on Kevin Owens for the ladder attack on Sunday. Pretty good. One more promo from Randy Orton. I get over on Drew McIntyre. Seth Rollins on Rey Mysterio. I was going to do Orton and McIntyre, but instead I did this. And Rollins did fantastic. 78 rated promo. Laughs off the threat of Rey Mysterio, saying that on Sunday he will destroy him in the I Quit matchup. The main event then is not one you would expect. It's actually Jackson Ryker taking on R-Truth for a 57, which is okay. Not bad at all. 58 from Ryker. R-Truth 54. Another big win for Jackson Ryker as we speed through main event for a 61. No complaints. Okay then, NXT. After last week we had a pretty mediocre show, is probably the best way to say it. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great either. It was okay without being special. This week I'm hoping for a little bit differently. The main event, of course, is Keith Lee versus Roderick Strong. A hell of a wrestling match I'm hoping for. These guys have done it in the past. Hopefully they will do it again. And also Breezango will be taking on Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish. Undisputed Era all over this show this week. Will they kill it? God, I hope so. Let's get started. And we open up with that tag team matchup, and Breezango defeat the Undisputed Era in about 90 minutes. 57 for this one is, well, it's okay, but there's a reason that it's so low. And as you can see there, Tyler Breeze sustained a finger sprain. What is it with injuries this week? I am terrified for Smackdown. Oh my God. Anyway, Fandango 50. Tyler Breeze 59 is okay. Bobby Fish 68 and Kyle O'Reilly 71. I'm really impressed with that. So we should be using these two more. We're not at the moment, and that's one thing I want to change. NXT has a lot of talent, but using these two more would be important for us. There's 57. Yeah, it's okay, but another good win for Breezango against an established tag team in NXT. So it's going to be interesting to see where they go. They get on the mic afterwards and put the challenge out there that they want a shot at the tag team championships. They watched the match last week, and you know what? Grizzled Young Veterans have walked away with the titles, but that means they've got a target on their back, and Breezango want to be the first to shoot their shot. And 57 again. A solid start to the show without being spectacular, interestingly, again, from NXT. The main thing as well with this is that GYV don't come out to answer. Like, Breeze and Fandango are calling out the champions, but there is no answer from GYV. So we'll get to that. We will get to that. 57, yeah, okay. Roddy Strong cut a promo on Keith Lee, hyping up the main event for 56. Wasn't scripted and did very well with it as well. Pretty good from Roderick Strong. He's pops 55, so it's about his popularity, so that's pretty good. Sort of saying about Keith Lee has stuck his nose in business that doesn't warrant it. He's stuck his nose in undisputed business. So this main event tonight, Roderick Strong, make sure Keith Lee knows what is his business, and this is not it. 56. That wasn't even a good promo. I don't know what I said then. The NXT Women's Champion Dakota Kai was in action, defeating Santana Garrett for 51. This is really good. Really good from the women's division. Dakota 49. Her pop is improving every week, which is good. And Santana Garrett put in a good performance at 45. A good babyface for the Dakota to go over here. And a bit of credibility for the NXT Women's Champion. After, of course, she retained last week against Rhea Ripley. Another win today. And yeah, she is flying at the moment as the NXT Women's Champion. Seemingly head and shoulders above the rest. Who will step up to her? We will find out soon. Afterwards, she cut a promo for 57. Really, really good. She worked the crowd well as a heel, no script, and she's nailed it again, Dakota Kai there. Just talking about how she's unbeatable. No one can step up to her. Rhea Ripley tried. She was beaten. Everybody that's tried has been beaten. She's the greatest NXT Women's Champion of all time. 57. Really good. We come back from break for a 76 rated segment. A really good segment. Riddle and Dunn have nailed this. Well done. Both unscripted again. I've tried everyone unscripted tonight, and so far it's going well. So let's talk through it. Matt Riddle comes out to the ring on his own. Right? He comes out to the ring on his own and says, look, I need to talk about something. I need to talk about Finn Balor. Now, last week, yes, we lost the NXT Tag Team titles, and I am bitterly disappointed. But there's a reason we lost those titles. There's one man who got in our way. Now, Finn Balor, why don't you come out here and the legitimate bro can show you what it means to be in the ring with Matt Riddle. Calls out Finn Balor, wants a fight, but it's not Balor that comes out, it's Pete Dunne, his tag team partner, so to speak. Dunne comes out looking pissed. Of course, he was the one that got pinned last week. He was the one who got caught because of Balor's interference, and he looks pissed. And he says, Matt, listen to me now. This obsession has cost us the tag team championships. This obsession with Balor means that I am no longer holding NXT gold, and I do not like that. But the thing is, as pissed off as I am at you for letting this happen, I am way more pissed off at Finn Balor for letting it happen. So, listen, we will get our NXT tag team titles back. But for now, let's deal with Finn Balor. Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle seemingly on the same page. It looked like they were going to have a big blow up. Not happening at the moment. They're on the same page and they're going after Balor. They're trying to deal with the Prince. Riddle and Dunne are after Finn Balor. 76, really, really, really good promo. And then it is announced next week, one of the Bruiserweights will get their hands on Finn Balor as Pete Dunne, the Bruiserweight, takes on Finn Balor. Two of the top stars in British wrestling history will go one-on-one on NXT next week. The Prince in a top match against former NXT United Kingdom champion Pete Dunne. Matt Riddle, of course, will be there at ringside as well. It is a situation that could explode. NXT champion Adam Cole was in action for a 77 rated matchup. Amazing stuff. He defeats Joaquin Wilde, but he puts in an 80 in-ring performance. Cole is flying right now. 12 minutes out there. He excites the crowd. I think there's a babyface turn that can be done for Adam Cole because of the popularity he's got right now. Eventually, you could turn him as the top babyface in NXT, but we'll see where that goes. 77, fabulous match. A good match for Adam Cole. Again, puts him over as champion, helping him even more each week. And then afterwards, he gets on the mic, cuts a promo on Keith Lee. For 69, that's interesting. Not as good. He just taunts Lee, calls him names, sort of saying, you want to bask in his glory. Let's bask in the fact that you lost the North American Championship. Let's bask in that, shall we? He's not afraid of Keith Lee. He did well with the promo. He was unscripted, but we've seen better promos from Adam Cole. Tag team action here for 68. Really, really good tag team match when you look at the people involved. Karrion Kross and Cameron Grimes took on Tommaso Ciampa and Dominik Dijakovic, and the winners are the heel tag team. Now, let me talk you through the finish here. Of course, Kross and Ciampa are the two rivals in this, and they end up brawling. And they end up brawling up the ramp, leaving Grimes and Dijakovic in the ring. And Cameron Grimes takes advantage, hitting his finisher and pinning Dominik Dijakovic to get the victory. Cameron Grimes' biggest victory in the save so far, you would say. And he wins. 58 from Grimes, 66 from Karrion Kross, 49 from Dijakovic isn't bad at all. And Tommaso Ciampa leads the way with a 73. Good tag team match. Gains heat for the Kross and Ciampa storyline. No problems with this. Good NXT TV stuff. And then, well, it's time we went with another in-ring action. And the North American champions in action. It's Johnny Gargano against Mansoor for 72. This show is coming together weirdly good. And Gargano has killed it there. Johnny Gargano with an in-ring performance of 81. His pop is 60. Gargano is the man. There's a reason we put that North American title on him, so he can go against these under talents, bring them up, have good matches. That's exactly what he's doing right now. Mansoor, his pop's 20. He's got a 33 performance, which is great from him. But Gargano has nailed this. A 72 rated matchup. Really, really good stuff again. The North American champion looking strong. But the thing is with this one, ignore submission by Croston Crab. Don't even know what that move is. Croston Crab? Okay. Anyway, Gargano wins by hitting Kushida's finishing move is the idea. A message to Kushida, who called him out last week, called out Gargano, and Gargano listened, and a little bit of a message to Kushida. He hits Kushida's finishing move and gets the 1-2-3 with it. And afterwards he gets on the mic for 68. Really good promo again. Really, really good promo saying that victory was for Kushida. Kushida, I am honouring you with that victory. Sort of rubbing it in his face, like, whatever, mate. You want to come at me, but I am the best. He's cocky, he's arrogant, he needs bringing down a peg. Will Kushida be that man? We will find out, because it's then booked next week. There's going to be a number one contenders matchup for the North American Championship, and it's going to be Kushida in that matchup against a man who's got a big victory tonight, Cameron Grimes. That victory now makes sense. Cameron Grimes against Kushida, and the winner has a title opportunity at Johnny Gargano's North American Championship. That should be, hopefully, a hell of a matchup next week on NXT. Tegan Nox got a promo on Dakota Kai ahead of a matchup. She struggled when going off script, which is interesting, but a 56 promo isn't bad for her. Talking about the fact that, yes, Dakota Kai may have beaten her in the past, and yes, Dakota Kai is the NXT Women's Champion, but Tegan has been racking up victory after victory. And you know what? If Dakota Kai is looking for an opponent, look no further than Lady Kane herself, Tegan Nox. We might go back to this. We might. I said it was before in-ring action. That's not actually true. It's announced next week Tegan Nox will be in in-ring action, and she'll be taking on Io Shirai. What a matchup this could be next week. Tegan Nox, Io Shirai. 3 big matches planned for next week, and this could steal the show. Tegan Nox, Io Shirai. Which one of these two women will take a big step towards an NXT Women's Championship opportunity? Let's find out next week. 52 rated promo here from the grizzled young veterans who are asked about Breezango's challenge earlier tonight, and GYV says, look, we've been celebrating all week. We are the new NXT Tag Team Champions. And I hear that somebody wants a shot. What a shock. Breezango, the main roster misfits. They couldn't do it up there. Tyler Breeze was meant to be the next best thing. And what did he end up doing? Absolutely nothing. Fandango, he won at WrestleMania, do you know? Nothing. So, the reason why we didn't go out and respond to their challenge is because Breezango are a joke, and we do not want the tag team division to be a joke. 52 grizzled young veterans are offended by the fact that Breezango want a shot at their titles. That's before the main event, of course. It's going to be Keith Lee and Roderick Strong. On his way to the ring, Keith Lee cuts a promo on Adam Cole for 72. Wow. And he said 82, 72. Keith Lee worked the crowd well, talked about the fact that all he's ever thought about since coming to NXT is being at the top of the mountain. And yes, he's been the NXT North American champion, and that championship meant a lot to him. But to be NXT champion, you are the best on the brand. And Keith Lee definitely thinks he's the best on the brand. So Keith Lee versus Roderick Strong is the main event. What will it get us? It's been a pretty good show so far. Adam Cole's got a 77 earlier tonight. I can't see it beating him, but let's have a look. Keith Lee and Roderick Strong gets us a 65, so that's a bit of a blow. Bit of a blow considering you look at some of the other matches on the card. 57 from Keith Lee, Roderick Strong 56, but Keith Lee needs to be built up his popularity a bit. He's a little low for me, and we are going to put him against Adam Cole, so we'll get victories over some big talents on NXT. And this is what we've done here. He defeats Roderick Strong in about 15 minutes. A good win for Keith Lee. A message sent to the NXT champion that he is coming for him and he'll take on all of the men in his stable if he needs to. But Keith Lee wants Adam Cole as the end game to this. 65 gives us a 72 rated NXT. A really good show. Seriously, this show has killed it. Honestly, that's our best NXT. I'm pretty sure. Possibly the takeover was better. You would hope so, but this has killed it. Really has. If the main event gets to a 70 as well, you're looking at 75. Great show. Fantastic stuff, guys. And next week, it could be even better. Pete Dunne, Finn Balor. Hell yeah. Tegan Nox, Io Shirai. Hell yeah. Cameron Grimes and Kushida could be the sleeper as well. So, yes. We go over to the British Isles, NXT UK. And we have got to pick up from last week's really good show. We had a good show last week. A good main event. Chris Brookes and Tyler Bate. This week, Chris Brookes is in the main event again. He's in the main event again. He'll be taking on Ilja Dragunov in the main event. Wasn't announced before, but that's what's happening. But we open up with the NXT UK champion coming to the ring. He is sided by Alexander Wolf and Fabian Aichner. Marcel Bartel not here this week because of contractual issues I've got to sort out. He is with the company, but for some reason he's not now in NXT UK. I've got to deal with it, but I can't do it on the PM version. So, yeah, he's just got Aichner. He's just got Alexander Wolf. But Volta and Imperium come to the ring to open the show. And they open the show with a 54 rated segment. Now, let me talk you through this. Interestingly, Road Agent wasn't good, and Glenn Joseph could have done better as the announcer. That's an interesting one. It could be something we look at changing eventually. But Volta, Aichner, and Wolf come out to the ring and talk about the fact that Drake Maverick defeated Fabian Aichner 2 weeks ago and touched Volta's belt. Volta says, I can't believe he did this. This ring is sacred. This belt is sacred. He's touched it with his filthy hands, his undeserving hands. But you know what? I think, and before he says anything else, the music of Drake Maverick hits and Maverick saunters down to the ring, just cocky, confident. For some reason, he doesn't care the fact that the most dangerous man in NXT UK is in the ring and he's pissed at him. And Maverick enters the ring, and as he goes to enter the ring, Aichner and Wolf look like they're about to attack, and Volta stops them, calls them off, and says, and looks at Drake Maverick and just goes, come into the ring. Come into the ring. Maverick does. And Maverick gets on the mic and says, hey, listen, Walter, baby, let's talk. The fact of the matter is you have got something I want. That NXT championship. And the thing is, you are a fantastic wrestler. You're a brilliant wrestler. You're a bloody man-mountain of a man as well. But if you've got what I want, you stand in my way. Now, I'm going to put this challenge out to you. I respect you. Look, I respect you. I respect what you've done on this brand. You've defeated some of the best. You've defeated Tyler Bate. You've defeated Pete Dunne. You've defeated Mark Andrews, Trent Seven. The list goes on and on and on. However, I want a shot. I've defeated one of your cronies. I'll defeat the other if you need me to. But I want a shot. Aichner and Wolf look ready to attack. And Volta is still calm. He says, fine. Volta agrees to the matchup. It's going to be Volta versus Drake Maverick at some point yet to be revealed. But Volta's agreed, and Volta's very calm here. Scarily calm. And Maverick's a bit like, first time he falters, really, in his confidence. He's like, right, okay. Right, cool. Well, cheers, thank you. I'll just leave then. And he turns his back and goes to leave the ring. And that is when Imperium attack. Aichner and Wolf, after a nod from Volta, attack Drake Maverick. And a 3-on-1 attack leaves him down in the ring. They hit some sort of power bomb on him, I would say. Volta can hit his power bomb, actually, the best way to do it. And yeah, Drake Maverick has his title match. But has he bitten off more than he can chew when he's going up against Imperium? 54, good start to the show, particularly for this NXT UK here in London. In-ring action for 44 here sees the Black Country Boys defeat Gabriel Kidd and Joseph Connors in about 10 minutes. Dave Mastiff getting the victory, putting Kidd with the senton bomb. 34 from Mastiff, 70 from Trent Seven, really good from him. 32 from Connors and 27 from Kidd. 44 altogether. Is not bad at all for this sort of mid-card NXT stuff. Trent Seven, of course, carried the match like we say. Road agents are an issue I'm going to have to sort out at some point. But a good win for the current NXT UK Tag Team Champions. We had Wolfgang, I've done it again, Wolfgang on commentary. And after the match, he and Mark Coffey Gallus come into the ring and challenge the Black Country Boys. They say, look, we are the former champions. We deserve another shot. You saw us defeat tag teams over the past few weeks. You know we deserve a shot. But before they can say anything else, Joe Hendry and Eddie Dennis also come out and say, look, you're not the only ones that have been winning. You're not the only ones that are here for tag team gold. Gallus and the Black Country Boys has been done before. So how's about Black Country Boys versus Dennis and Hendry? What do you say? And It looks like the Black Country Boys are going to sort of accept anything, but before they do, Gallus attack them. Hendry and Eddie Dennis also attack them. It's 4-on-2. For some reason, Gallus and Hendry and Dennis have teamed together to take on the tag team champions today. Of course, they want their own separate shots, but they want to put the champions down and put their message in and piss them off, so they'll put the titles on the line. 40 rated segment is pretty good. We do have to officially turn Eddie Dennis heel because apparently he's a babyface. Yeah, whatever. That's gone down. I mean, the gimmick's done well. The gimmick is good. And the turn was a complete success, so I'll take that. 40 rated segment. We're building up these 3 tag teams as potential challengers. Of course, we've got to have Aiken and Killian Dane in there, but Aiken suffered an injury, so it'll be interesting to see. We've got to get another face tag team in there. We'll see what we can do. It is then announced that Johnny Saint was watching backstage, and he has put this on the line. The Black Country Boys will defend the tag team titles against Gallus first of all. Next week, the titles will be on the line. Hendry and Dennis are waiting in the wings for the potential champions. It is country versus country. The Black Country versus Gallus. Let's do this next week. That is not all though. We have the date confirmed. It'll be 2 weeks' time where the NXT UK Championship's on the line. Volta says he will do it against Drake Maverick. Drake Maverick has got a shot at the title in 2 weeks' time. Tyler Bate is backstage for a 59 rated promo on Chris Brookes, talking about the fact that last week those two had an absolute barnstormer, but Brookes ruined it. Brookes, you know what? If Brookes would have beaten him one-on-one, fairly done, Bate would have no complaints, but he couldn't get the job done because he is not better than Tyler Bate. He had to cheat. So guess what, Chris Brookes? Me and you are not done. I see you in the main event tonight. Just a hint that Bate will not be leaving Brookes alone, and he wants to know if he can beat him one-on-one cleanly. 59 for the promo. Next up though, the women's champion will be in action. Kaylee Ray defeating a debutant here, Bobby Tyler, for 37, which is okay. Kaylee Ray 36, Bobby Tyler 27. Her bitch gimmick has gone down as awful, which is great. Maybe she can grow into it. It is what it is. Kaylee Ray, though, defeating Bobby Tyler in about 10 minutes with a gory bomb, and the women's champion looking strong here. We put Piper Niven on commentary as well, so I'm intrigued as to how she did. We're not going to see it. Right? Okay, but Kaylee Ray is an amazing babyface. Amazingly weird. But yeah, good win for the NXT UK Women's Champion. She celebrates a victory, and then she's attacked from behind. As she's celebrating in the corner, she's knocked down into the turnbuckle and attacked. Piper Niven's on commentary. It's not her. Bobby Tyler's down. It's not her. It's the debut of Martina, the Irish woman, the someone who has been picking up steam in real life. Martina debuts her tough chick gimmick here and attacks the NXT UK Women's Champion for 30. A new challenger at the helm. Will Kaylee Ray be able to respond next week? Martina is here and the champion has fallen. Main event time then. Ilja Dragunov against Chris Brookes gets us a 49 rated main event. Pretty good. Chris Brookes holding this together for 53. Ilja Dragunov 31. Yeah, alright, whatever. 10 minutes though is what they got. Not a long match. Chris Brookes getting the win with the octopus stretch. However, everyone had their eyes on where Tyler Bate would be coming from, and he attacks after the match, running through the crowd to attack Chris Brookes when he least expects it. 59 for the segment to end the show. Tyler Bate runs in, attacks, and hits the Tyler Driver 97 to send the fans home happy. Bate with a bit of revenge for last week. Now Brookes will have to respond in this war between two of the best on the brand. 59 for the segment gives us a 51 rated NXT UK. That is pretty good. Nowhere near the heights of last week. Of course, the main event was never going to hit that level, but a solid show, and we move on to Smackdown in good stead. Now, can injuries please be good to us on Smackdown? We are just 3 days away from the pay-per-view. It's the final Smackdown before Extreme Rules. We have got a lot to build up. Things have been going well on Smackdown, to be fair, really well. So we're going to try and continue that with a big, big show. Not the big show, like just a big show. We'll move on. Anyway, we open up with the Universal Champion. 71 for the opening segment. Sheamus did not do well without a script. I can see that straight away. But let me talk you through it. Strowman comes out, championship on his shoulder, wanting to talk about the fact that Vince McMahon has put him in kind of a no-win situation. He goes into the pay-per-view on Sunday knowing that he does not have to be pinned to lose his championship. It's a fatal four-way. Bryan could beat Sheamus. Reigns could beat Bryan. Sheamus could beat Reigns. Do you know what I mean? There's loads of different possibilities without Braun being involved where he loses his Universal Championship, and he doesn't like it. Before he could go any further though, here comes Daniel Bryan. He doesn't have a mic in hand. He has a chair in hand. And he is here to try and attack Braun Strowman. Daniel Bryan gets to the ring area when he's attacked himself by King Corbin and Sheamus. A brogue kick to Bryan. They enter the ring. They look like they're about to attack Braun Strowman when Bryan's back up. And of course, it leads to Strowman and Bryan having to work together to deal with Sheamus and Corbin. Now, of course, Strowman and Bryan are reluctant in this, but they team together to deal with the two heels for a 71 rated opening segment. And during the break, it's announced that the main event tonight will be Bryan and Strowman against Sheamus and Corbin. Big tag team match just 2 days away from the pay-per-view. Can Strowman and Bryan get on the same page? We'll find out. First match of the night sees Sami Zayn defeat Shorty G for 69. Pretty damn good stuff here. Zayn 69, Shorty G 55. So Zayn really holding this together, to be fair. Shorty G's doing better with his gimmick. I might change his name eventually. But this is all building towards that Intercontinental Championship match between Zayn and Big E at the pay-per-view. Big E was on commentary for this one, which will help it. And afterwards, Zayn gets on the mic to dress down Big E, basically. Improvise well. No scripting tonight again. I'm trying it out. 62 for the segment. Really, really good stuff. Talking about the fact that, you know what? Big E, let's talk. Let's talk, because during your entire run with the New Day, you've kind of been the side act. You've kind of been the, oh, look at him, he's doing the splits. Oh, he's thrusting. How funny. Whereas Kofi has been WWE champion. Xavier has a very impressive YouTube channel and following on the online community. Big E, what have you actually got going for you apart from some abnormally large breasts? Let's be honest here, Big E. At Extreme Rules, you're going to come into the match, you're going to show your power, you're going to do a dive through the ropes, and then I'm going to hit a haluva kick, and then I'm going to walk away with the Intercontinental Championship. And that's how this story ends, I'm afraid, Big E. 62 for a good promo from Sami Zayn. Last build, I suppose, towards that pay-per-view matchup. Up next, we go backstage, an interview with Sasha Banks for 65. Really, really good stuff from Sasha Banks here, talking about the fact that she is in a title match this Sunday, and we can have Renee Young go up to and say, listen, Sasha, this Sunday you will be fighting for the Smackdown Women's Championship, but what does that do with your friendship with the champion, Bayley? And Sasha says, listen, Bayley's my girl. She always has been, she always will be. There's no doubt about it. And listen, if it was Bayley versus Ember Moon this Sunday, I would 100% be in her corner and making sure she walks away with that SmackDown Women's Championship. But it's not. And this Sunday I've been put in a position that, I didn't ask for it, but I'm in it. I'm in a title match. Now, I am a competitor in this company. I have always dreamed of being champion. I've been champion. I want to be champion again at some point. Is that this Sunday? If that opportunity comes my way, I will take it. Bayley's my best friend, and I'm sure she will understand. A championship is a championship. Just hinting the fact that Sasha could go out on her own this Sunday. Eventually, as you can see, this is where we're going to go. Potential face turn in the works for Sasha Banks. She still has that Money in the Bank briefcase. Let's see what happens this Sunday. Elimination style. Bayley, Sasha and Ember should be a hell of a matchup. But tonight, Sasha will take on Ember Moon, by the way. Sasha and Ember Moon tonight. Really good promo for the record. Sasha Banks there. 65 off script. Did really well. Pleased with that. Heavy Machinery was in action for a 49 rated matchup. This is okay without being spectacular. Mojo really brought it down with a 44. In ring though, Otis did well, 62, and they defeat Mojo and Lars Sullivan getting his debut here. I don't plan on using him much, so that's why he's losing. I'll use him to lose. That's it. I'm not impressed with Lars Sullivan. I've got to be honest with you. I don't think he's very good, so we're not going to use him massively. 49 here, pretty good. Short match, only about 5 minutes, and Heavy Machinery go over. And it's announced next week their momentum will take them to a championship matchup. It's going to be Heavy Machinery versus The Miz and John Morrison with the Smackdown tag team titles on the line next week, right here on Friday Night Smackdown. Backstage, Sasha Banks is warming up for her matchup with Ember Moon, which is next, when Bayley walks in with the SmackDown title on her shoulder, trying to psych up Sasha Banks, talking about the fact that, you know what, you got this, Sasha. Tonight you're going to beat her. You are going to beat Ember Moon. And on Sunday, she doesn't stand a chance because the Boss and the Hug Connection are everything. Bayley trying to get on side with Sasha Banks, and Sasha says, yeah, listen, there's been a lot said about the fact that Ember Moon has been put in this position because we've not given her the fair opportunity, and I want to prove something tonight. I want to prove that I'm not just your best friend, I am a competitor. I've had a lot of people talking, so Bayley, I love you, but can you please stay here? Don't come out. I've got this. I'll beat her. I've got this. Sasha asking Bayley to stay behind tonight. Just a little bit more of a hint that these two are not quite on the same page. The match itself then, Sasha and Ember, should be interesting. Let's see what it gets. It gets us a 53, which is okay considering Ember Moon's pop. 47 for her performance, 60 from Sasha, and the winner is Ember Moon. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about the fact that halfway through the match, we're having a back and forth match, and halfway through, the SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley is not listening, and she comes down to ringside, and Sasha is a bit like, whoa, what are you doing? What are you even doing here? Ember Moon looks like she's going for an eclipse. Sasha Banks goes up to the top rope to try and counter it, and he's looking for a suplex, but Bayley thinks Ember Moon is in control and pushes Ember Moon down onto Sasha for the 1, 2, 3 from the top rope. The splash down, 1, 2, 3. Bayley has cost Sasha Banks the victory here. 53 for the matchup. And afterwards, an argument between the Boss and Hug Connection for 57. Both improvised very well, arguing over who are to blame. Sasha does not look happy. They leave together as best friends. Ember Moon is celebrating in the ring, and these two leave together as best friends. But there is definitely an issue going on here. Will that flow into Sunday? You bet your ass it will. What a matchup here. 78 for Roman Reigns defeating Cesaro in about 15 minutes. Two good workers on the brand to give us a good weekly matchup on the TV show. We did a lot of story building stuff so far. I wanted to put on a good show, and these two have nailed it. 78 from Reigns is the man here. 69 from Cesaro, not bad at all. Of course, a fantastic wrestler and a good match. Roman Reigns getting momentum going into Sunday, defeating Cesaro. He then gets on the mic for a 72 rated promo. Masterful job of improvising interactions. Really good from Reigns. Hyping up this Sunday's Fatal 4-Way, talking about the fact he walks away with the Universal Championship. 72 good promo. Up next, another promo. It's Sheamus and Corbin now cutting a promo, hyping the main event against Bryan and Strowman, talking about the fact that they're on the same page with each other. They get what they want. Corbin and Sheamus are on the same page. Bryan and Strowman are not. That's going to play into tonight when Sheamus brogue kicks Bryan and King Corbin nails Strowman with the End of Days, and Corbin and Sheamus walk out winners. It's also going to play in to Sunday when one brogue kick means Sheamus is back top of the mountain and Sheamus will be Universal Champion. 67 for a pretty damn good promo. Next up, a tag team match which was advertised. It's Ricochet and Ali against Dolph and Bobby Roode for a 70. Wow. Wasn't expecting that, and it's all about Ricochet here. He is put over big time. They had a lot of time to have a good matchup, and Ricochet with a 74 performance is put over big time. Ali 61, Dolph 60, Robert Roode 55. But let's be honest, like I say, this is all about Ricochet, which show off his fantastic moves. Think Rey Mysterio 2002 when he came in, he was on SmackDown, and he was consistently put over as a star. That's what we're trying to do here with Ricochet. Fabulous. Don't think this storyline will end. I think we'll continue it for a while, get some matches out of these teams. The 70, whew, brilliant. For the first time in a few weeks, it's Firefly Funhouse time. Bray was a real star. He did well off script. Really good stuff. A 70-rate segment. And Bray is back having fun in the Funhouse. And he says, this Sunday is going to be big. It's going to be huge. 4 big competitors. And you know what? I will have my eyes on it. I am rooting for someone, and they go, who are you rooting for? Well, you know who I'm rooting for. I'm rooting for the chosen one. I have to root for the chosen one. I have to. And he's talking a bit loony, and you can have Rambling Rabbit say, are you going to be there? And Bray says, no, silly, of course I'm not. I'm going to be here with you. But he will. He will be at Extreme Rules. 70 for a good promo from the Firefly Funhouse, and just the tease for fans. The Fiend will be at the pay-per-view. Let's see what happens there. Of course, SummerSlam is the following pay-per-view. It's time we start building up the Fiend for something big. 70. Whoa! Daniel Bryan cut a promo on Braun Strowman for 67, talking about the fact that he doesn't like him, he doesn't respect him, but he's got a partner with him. Now, Bryan can deal with Sheamus. Bryan can deal with Corbin. But if Strowman gets in his way, he will take the running knee and drive it through his skull. So 67 for the promo. Ahead of that main event then is Braun Strowman and Daniel Bryan against Sheamus and Corbin for a 70... Oh, you are joking me, right? A fractured coccyx. He is definitely out of the pay-per-view. He's definitely out. 100% out. 100% out of the pay-per-view. You are having a giggle. You are having a giggle. Right. Okay, right. Let's talk about the match. Bryan and Strowman win. Strowman pinning Corbin with a standing triangle choke. Whatever. 76 from Strowman. Bryan was the best with 81. 65 apiece for the heels. But Braun Strowman does suffer an injury. 73 for the match. Afterwards, Bryan attacks Strowman. He's had enough and he hits him with a running knee to send Strowman out to the outside of the ring for 68. Pretty decent end to the show. Bryan standing tall. Gives us a 72, which is really good. We increased our popularity in 26 regions, which is good. I'm going to move on quickly though, because I need to find out what's going on. Right then. Okay, so it's a 13-day injury, but he can work through it. Well, I think with a pay-per-view match, he's kind of going to have to. And actually, because it's a fatal four-way matchup, you could probably protect Strowman a little bit and just use him as a monster that's just on offense. He doesn't take any bumps, maybe. I don't know. I think he's going to have to work through it. Like this video to let me know what you think in your comments. Let me know what you think of the show. I think we've had a pretty good week. Some good matches on the card. Really good promos. I feel like we've had some great promos on this week's shows. But we are building towards a hell of a pay-per-view this Sunday. There's some big matches on the card for NXT next week as well. And NXT UK and Smackdown. We are always looking forward. But let's look at this Sunday. Let's have an absolute classic until next time. Peace.